Let's just hope that this video is not disrupted or because I've been having some technical difficulties for some reason. I don't know what it is. I guess it's good as mine. But I just want to, I did a video earlier, it's kind of like I'm doing it all over again. This is Michael Jackson. I know you can hear his music in the background. I'm a, these videos, hold on, I'm sorry. All right, that's better. But technical difficulty, I don't know what's going on, man. Maybe just, somebody just, fucking with my videos. They don't like what I'm saying because I've been arguing with certain people, certain individuals online. I've been also banned from certain media, social media outlets or platforms due to my, based on my opinions or whatnot. I guess sometimes you speak truth, truth to power. Some people can't accept it. They want to be argumentative and they want to have you banned or whatnot from certain media. It is what it is. But I just want to talk about what they're doing on Michael Jackson, and that Neverland mockumentary or fraudumentary that the HBO released, which they are being sued right now for that by the Jackson estate because HBO has violated disparaging agreement that it made with the Jackson estate. The Jackson family suing HBO for breaching that agreement, the disparaging agreement that they made with Michael Jackson. uh, and I think back, I think it was the Dangerous Tour, the Bad Tour, when Michael Jackson gave them exclusive rights to airing that concert. And I think, and at the time, that's when HBO had entered into an agreement with Michael Jackson that they would never. HBO violated that agreement when they aired that fuckumentary, Leaving Neverland. And Oprah is wrong for also having a so-called victims on her show. What's his name? Wade Robson, or their name, Wade Robson, and what's the other boy's name? James Safechuck. So Oprah had James Safechuck and Wade Robson on her show, on her platform, and totally she said that she supports the two boys and she blames Michael Jackson and dragging Michael's name through the mud. The same with Gayle King from CBS Morning News. She used her platform to also disparage Mike, to show support for the so-called victims. And it's bullshit, man. It's just another form. It's just another way of assassinating this man, destroying his legacy, and just it's bullshit. So I hope the family wins when their case, because like I said, they filed an injunction against the HBO and said because they violated the dispersion agreement that they entered into with the Jackson estate. And I hope the family wins that lawsuit because HBO never should have aired that mockumentary. It was bullshit. Because Michael Jackson was a great man. He was a humble man. He was a loving man. He was a shrewd negotiator. He had that great business acumen, but in all actuality, the man has donated. He was a philanthropist. He donated more than $250 million to numerous charitable organizations. And one of the organizations he's given lots of money to were the United Negro College Fund. He's given monies to many organizations, black, white, whatever, just countless different organizations that benefited people around the world. He's helped many people, and this is the thanks that he gets. This is how I've been cut off again. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to make this brief possible. But yeah, this is the thanks he get. The thanks that the way they thank him, he does. He helps their kids, and then they completely flip and turn on the man. And Oprah is wrong. Gayle King is wrong because they were supposed to be friends with Michael Jackson, but they turned against Michael Jackson. They joined the crowd that that's totally disparaging urging to destroy the man's legacy. Now they want to mute his music and try to really hurt his estate. And I heard that his estate is worth at least close to $2 billion. So even if you mute his music, you're not gonna hurt his estate. His estate is very wealthy, but it's just the principle. You're trying to destroy this man's legacy, and shit, people are still gonna buy Michael Jackson's music. You can't stop people. He got some loyal fans out there. There are many people out there that really and truly who are really truly behind Michael Jackson, and they're not gonna join and just lynch mob in this man's legacy because in their hearts they know Mike was a great man. Mike was a great man. He did not molest any children. What he did is he just had a big heart. He was a child. He was a grown. There was a child within a grown man. He had business acumen, shrewd, wealthy, but he was a big kid, man. He wanted to have fun. He didn't have a childhood. Growing up, all them boys, all of them. I mean, the entire family, they were workaholics. So, so Mike wanted to get his childhood back. He wanted to really live his childhood. You know, he's like, okay, I worked my ass off for 30 something, 40 some years. I want to be a kid. I want to experience that. What is it like to be a kid? He said he always claimed, he said that he was always inspired. He was inspired by being around kids. Again, the kids gave him inspiration. He said kids had no ulterior motive. They were innocent. And my thing is for HBO to air this bullshit documentary or fuckumentary, mockumentary, and for Oprah and Gayle King to have Wade Robson and what's his name? The other boy's name? God, I keep forgetting his damn name. What's his name? Okay, I got Wade Robson and James Safechuck to have those two on their platform and to and give them a platform that is so one-sided to and it's very much one-sided, very biased, and to give them that platform, that opportunity to and continuously disparage and drag this man's Michael Jackson's name through the mud is just utter betrayal, treacherous at best. So shame on Oprah, shame on Gail King, and everyone else, all the people who have joined the lynch mob, jumped on this bandwagon, and those who are trying to destroy Michael Jackson. Shame on all of you, and God will punish you, motherfuckers, and you should be judged to what you've done to this betrayal. The man was exonerated twice. He was investigated by the FBI for over 10 years. The Sheriff Department, the prosecution's office, and none of these agencies found anything disparaging, nothing that is incriminating, nothing that they could use to convict Michael Jackson. The FBI investigated this man for over 10 years and they found nothing that pointed to or that would child molestation on the part of Mr. Jackson. He was a good man, he was an honest man, a great man, and he did what he wanted to do was just bring about peace and love. He wanted to heal the world with his music, but not only with his music, but with his donations. He was a philanthropist, and this is how they repay him. So it's a money grab. It's an opportunity. People see money and they're going for it. They are trying their best to rape his estate. Like I said, I heard his estate is worth $2 billion, or at least close to $2 billion. So it's a money grab. It's big money, man. Hundreds of millions of dollars are on the line, and his family and friends are desperately trying to defend his estate from these vultures, or a bunch of vultures and leeches. And I believe Michael Jackson was killed. He was killed. And Conrad Murray, what did he get? Only 2 years? You know, accidental homicide, or giving Mike drugs, he claimed that Mike needed propofol or whatever to fall asleep, and one time where I guess he just gave him an OD accidentally, gave him a hot dosage that ended his life. I think he was paid to kill Michael Jackson. Really don't know, but that's my speculation. I speculate. I believe that Comrade was a hired killer. I believe he was hired enemies to take him out. Because Mike created some enemies, especially after he bought that catalog, the Beatles catalog. He created some friction. He and Paul McCartney were friends at one time. He and Steven Spielberg were friends at one time, and I don't know. Oprah was his friend. They were friends at one time. Gail King were friends, and they're in cahoots with powerful people that that wanted to bring down Michael Jackson, like Paul McCartney's and the Steven Spielbergs and Oprah. She viewed that Leaving Neverland mockumentary on her birthday on a yacht, on a wealthy friend's yacht. What's his name? What was dude's name? Jeff something. But anyway, he invited the four hour documentary or mockumentary on his yacht on her birthday, and then after they watch the mockumentary, she and Gail they set up an interview. They set up interviews with Wade Robson and James Safechuck, and get, like I said, give them the platform to further uh, assassinate this man, further one-sided. Like, if you, like I said, this one-sided interview, and I'm glad that there are people that are out there, friends and family members that are telling their side of the story and telling people who Michael Jackson really was. And Brandy, her matter of fact, I'm friends with Brandy Jackson on some media platforms, and she also stated herself when she was a little girl, she was part of these slumber parties that Michael Jackson threw. You know, when kids would sleep over, Brandy herself, she would sleep in bed with the kids and his other nieces and nephews. They were part of the thing too. They slept over as well. They invited their friends to sleep over, you know, and there were also other adults on the scene. So they ain't like Michael Jackson was just in bed with all these random kids and there were no adults around. And because there were other adults around that slept over too. Of course, Brandy and Michael Jackson's nephews and other nieces, they said they slept over when they were kids. They were part of the sleepovers. And they say Mike did nothing to them. Call him a Calkin. He said that Mike never molested him. And Corey Feldman, I think I'm saying his name right, that kid, he even said himself, Michael Jackson was a good man. Mike never molested him. And Colin McCulkin and Corey Feldman, they believe they even say themselves money grab thing, and that the people that are involved are basically disparage this man, trying to dirty his legacy, and it's a money grab. It's a bullshit. So I don't know. Uh, and they were also talking. I heard that Michael Jackson, when the first time he was, uh, when was that? Back in '80, where he met Safe Chuck back December December 1986, and that case. That's the one, I think. That's the case where Mike settled with a 25 million, uh, advised that which he did by his attorneys. His attorneys advised that he should settle because Mike wanted to fight that shit. He wanted to fight it, and him not fighting the first uh, charge or the accusations basically left room open for the 2003 or 2004, 2003, 2004. Had he fought that one, the first one, because he was in '93 is when he went, when he was accused in '93. and he settled. He shouldn't have settled because the 2004 or 2005, which he was exonerated 2005, the second one, had he and not settled in the first case, the second case probably never would have happened. And where Mike messed up at after he after that first case, he should have been like, "I'm done. I'm not gonna have all these no more sleepovers." And where he messed up at, the man was innocent. Michael Jackson was a kid at heart, but where he messed up, and he continued to have kids around him. Whether I mean, even though there were other adults around too, and nieces and nephews, still the sleepovers stops. That shit goes out the window after the first case. I'd have been done with it, and it cost him. It cost him millions of dollars, um, and eventually it cost him his life. I'm sure it had all these accusations and tabloids and people in his life and calling him all these names and wacko jacko and to a degree, somewhat kind of I think it did it kind of it got to him psychologically, and his behavior did get a little strange from time to time, but that doesn't mean he was a child molester. He was a little weird from time to time. But I mean, I guess sometimes when you the biggest star on the planet and the most famous person and people always want to be around you, sometimes that could probably create cause you to have an eccentric type of attitude or disposition about yourself. I guess that type of fame can kind of could possibly make you weird. The positive publicity as well as the negative publicity. Eventually, it could take a toll on you. But eventually, I believe it. All this witch hunt and all these people going after Mike. Eventually, they killed him. They killed him. Started to kill him internally first, and I believe that a lot of Jackson were they used him. They were stealing from him. They used him, and he had a lot of powerful enemies. Like I said, when he bought that Beatles catalog, Paul McCartney didn't like that shit. He didn't even think Mike was serious about it. You can listen to the interview whereas Paul McCartney said in the interview that, yeah, Michael Jackson said to him one day, "Hey man, I'm gonna buy your music. I want to buy your music. I will buy your music." And Paul just kind of chuckled like, "Yeah, okay," like Michael Jackson was just joking. And Paul McCartney himself had access. He could have bought the rights to his the, but maybe he didn't have all the money at the time or enough money at the time. But somehow he didn't do it. But Mike did it, and it pissed him off. And then he was not joking. Man, Michael Jackson was a very shrewd businessman. Very shrewd. He had impeccable, incredible business acumen. Impeccable negotiator. He was a shrewd negotiator. He just had great business acumen, and it pissed a lot of people off when he controlled that catalog, the Beatles catalog. And he not only he only, I heard that he also had like half of Sony's catalog, so he had rights to publishing rights to other artists to their work. The man was a powerful dude, and there were certain entities, specific entities that wanted to bring him down, and they felt that Mike was just getting too powerful because what Mike did spoke volumes. He has done some unprecedented shit, man. He made some unprecedented moves that has never been made by other black artists. James Brown, I think James Brown did something to that effect. Prince, you own black artists, or it's unknown, it's unheard of black artists owning their own masters, rights, publishing rights to their shit, man, to their body of work, and to have access to other people's body of work, to own catalogs, other the catalogs to other artists' catalogs. When come on, man, It's just too much fucking power for a nigga, man. That's just too much power. So they felt he was just too uppity. They had to put him in his place. And now you got all these people out here that have joined this lynch mob. This I think Michael Jackson is skewing these John Legends and all these punk bitch motherfuckers that right now, they're in bed with the powers that be. Uh, it is bullshit. Michael Jackson was a great man. I love Michael Jackson, and I'm a loyal fan, and there are millions of loyal fans out there, millions of people that will not be turned away from Michael Jackson. Now I heard that they have muted his music and they're trying to fuck up his sales, music sales. Come on, man. People gonna still buy Michael Jackson music. Matter of fact, I got most of his songs. I think I'm gonna go online today and purchase a few more songs. You dig what I'm saying? Hell with it. It is what it is. As you see, I'm listening to Michael Jackson in the background. I got a lot of his songs. I don't have all the songs, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and purchase a couple of more songs to show my support. Support his estate. He made Thriller. Michael Jackson made Thriller, man, and that is the number one selling album time. So whenever they try to make it seem like the Eagles' greatest hit is the greatest selling album of all time, bullshit, bullshit. And then you got to take hits from different albums, the Eagles, many albums, and compile all these songs from various albums and compile them into one CD and say, oh, the Eagles' greatest hits is the number one selling album of all time. Bullshit. Thriller, one album, one album. You didn't have to go to like, oh, we're gonna go get songs from this album, songs from that album, songs from that album, and then compile them into the greatest and say, oh, that's the number one. Thriller itself, just one album, it's the top dog. And you can't destroy it, man. You can't not knock it off its pedestal. It is up there. It has gone beyond the stratosphere. It is galactic, intergalactic. It's an intergalactic. It is a multi-universe, multiversal uh, accomplishment, if you will. So,